model maker. Um, what else can I say? Oh, an expert painter, artist, special effects guy, whatever. Please hire him. Please, somebody who's listening to the radio, please hire him. You
Extremely
created
talented. Extremely
oh
talented.
yes, multi talented. You created a Facebook page called Hot. What was it? I'm trying to
Uh,
find it.
Ray's Arts and Crafts.
I know it was Artists for Hire. Is that the new one?
Yes, I joined that. I joined that page.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
is that your page or?
I wish.
Uh,
No, I joined that page.
oh, okay, all right. So it's not your page. I thought you because I remember getting a an invitation to it. My invitation is still pending. They're still
Oh,
deciding whether I'm an artist or not.
oh,
So I
Man.
mean I'm not.
Say you are an
You know
artist.
what?
You are an artist.
A digital creator maybe. I don't know. Um, all those things are going to be put to the test this year. I'm thinking about doing my own channel, my own YouTube channel. So I'm gonna need I need like storyboards and stuff like that, and I'm gonna need an intro, all this other stuff, because yeah. Anyway, you are broadcasting from the vet, or where are you broadcasting from?
I'm back in a C5 Corvette, and it's up and running again.
As I saw, I saw on Facebook you were doing the top, the removable roof for the vet, and you were like
Yes,
sanding it down, and it
yes,
it was some sort of a carbon fiber.
yeah.
Oh,
It's a fiberglass top,
oh,
and it's
Hmm.
it goes back to a story where when I bought the car, I bought this car April 6th of 2019,
hmm
and a
Hmm.
Corvette guy told me, he was an older guy, he said, "This your first Corvette?" And I was like, "Yes." He was like, "Make sure you lock the top down because you're probably gonna lose it." I'm like, "What, lose it? What do you mean?" He was like, "All Corvette guys, they get their Corvettes. He like that first time, they're gonna forget to lock their top, and they're gonna lose their top. And when they get at a certain speed, that's gonna come off." And he's
uh,
like, "You're gonna." He's like, "You're gonna." He was like, "You're gonna do it eventually." I'm like, "No, I'm not. No, I'm not." It's like, this is a good car. I'm gonna take care of this car. I'm not gonna race it. I'm gonna keep it clean." And yeah, I then that one day came. It was within so many months. I would say like 5 or 6 months. I can't remember. Within a certain amount of time, a short period of time, I got off work from public, and I working a night shift. I got off like after 12 midnight, and drove all the way back, about 40-minute drive. Got back to my trailer, and man, I just dozed off in the car. I was on Facebook and just looking at stuff. I was looking at some videos and stuff, and I was tired, man. But it was kind of wired at the same time, because you spend so much time, trying to shut down your department and try to get stuff done and cleaned up, and you just want to get out.
hmm
And you get off, and it's like you're still
Mhm.
like wired.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yep.
tired, and dude, I passed out in the car, and the roof was off, and I was getting that cool breeze coming through, and I just kind of I conked out, and it I woke up again, and it's after like 1 in the morning. I was like, wow, wow. So I went and got the top out the back and put it on the top, and I could have sworn I had locked this thing down. I did. I remember I set the top on and I went inside and I crashed on the couch, and because the next day I was off. I remember being off that day, and I got in my car and went driving down the road, and I got up to like about 60 miles an hour, and then all of a sudden it was like instant daylight, like like 9 o'clock in the morning, instant daylight. And so like somebody just flashed a light in my face, and I was like, "Whoa!" And I checked the rearview mirror, and you could just see it back there hovering. Like, like like watching the little Jupiter 2 back there, like, whoa, man. It was like, man, it was yeah, it was embarrassing, man. And there was no really wasn't no cars on the road. I got embarrassed and I did a U-turn and went back to go get it because a lady pulled up on me and she was looking at me like, gave me that look. And I was just like, and had to go pick it up, but it hit the asphalt and skipped down the road a little and it went off in the grass.
Man.
And so
Oh.
it had scratches and gashes and stuff all in it, and yeah,
Wow.
it got scraped up pretty bad. But yeah,
Usually on the on the Aston Martin DB5, on the gear shift, there's like little button you can hit that, and then the roof comes off, and then there's like an ejector seat. But usually,
yeah,
but not yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah, so I started getting questions about that top later on, and it was plenty of times I wish I could have just showed them one of these and just start crunching. Don't answer the questions. Just start. Yeah.
yeah. My friend had a Trans Am 80, I think 84 Trans Am white, and he had the T top, but he had the smoked, like they were like a smoked glass
Right.
piece for the roof, T top, and one of them just would not lock down. The thing was actually rusted through, and
Oh.
and it would always shake at high speed. I'm like, when are you gonna get that to work? And he goes, well, I'm like, dude, it's the winter time now. It's the winter, like winter time in New Jersey, and you got cold air coming through, and it's going boom, 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 and he's he's got the turbo going and all this other stuff, and I'm like, just get it done. He goes, do you know how much money it's gonna cost? I was like, well, if the roof detaches and flips up and hits somebody, you're gonna have to pay for that too.
A lot of trouble.
And it didn't he actually it didn't flip up, but what happened was it went up one time and it came down and it cracked. So
Oh.
it cracked the piece, and then
Ooh.
a little sliver came out and hit the seat, and then and then after that he was like, yeah, I have to get this fixed. Okay, so you learned, but
Yeah.
yeah.
I wanted one of those. I did get a Trans Am. I got an 84 back in 2001. And I was in Fort Lauderdale. That's when I was going for the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale. And I got a 1984 Trans Am. I got it for $1,300. I bought it from a Cuban guy. And I was going to build this Knight Rider replica out of it one day. And it didn't play out like that. But it was a hard roof, though. It didn't. I didn't have a T. Never got a T top. And then yeah, so it was like 2008, 2009. I got a 91 Firebird. It was a hard roof, no T top. And yeah, this time I didn't get a V8. It got a little V6, 3.1 liter V6. And I did get Knight Rider parts on that car though. And,
Yeah, I did see there's
yeah.
It's Cassini. I forget. Oh my God, who is the? They
Mark's
will send you the
Custom Kit?
dashboard that has all the screens and all the lights and everything. They actually they have a kit. The
Right.
dashboard's $10,000,
Yeah,
but it comes with all the
different
electronics.
vendors. Yeah, they got different vendors.
Yeah.
Mark's Custom Kits. Mark was the first person I met. I met him in Kissimmee, and he brought he brought his wife and he brought the car, and we met up in some little shopping plaza, and I was doing artwork for him too, and
Oh, cool.
he has like technical drawings of kit and the dash and stuff like that, and I did it on poster board and shipped it to him, and he paid me for it. And
Nice.
yeah, so he sent me a little check, and And then I was in high school, and I felt like I was the man, like, dude, he just sent me a $200 check. And yeah, that was back in high school though. But yeah, there's a lot of different vendors that make parts for that car, and it's those fictional vehicles like Knight Rider and Airwolf that have unique features on them that's hard to duplicate. You think
Mhm.
that bumper is just a little pointed, little triangular, but it has a lot of curves and shapes to it. It changed throughout seasons too,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
yeah. And Airwolf had some unique features on it. I think was it Andrew Probert, or forgot the designer of the parts for the
Um.
TV show.
Yeah. Andy Probert. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Andy Probert. Okay. Yeah, but it's a lot of toy companies and model kits, model manufacturers. Like they never nailed the features on those two vehicles. And I was ranting about that one time with the I did that on Facebook. Because I was so irritated. I'm like, why can't they get it right? It's like you can find all these, you know, online references of Airwolf and Knight Rider all day.
Mm.
But but yeah, I was always big into the fictional vehicles and making stuff, and my whole thing started with drawing first. I was drawing as a kid, and my dad got me into building models probably when I was around like 5 or 6. And so I started building. He was in the Air Force, so we was on base housing at Moody Air Force Base.
Oh, cool.
So I
Okay.
mean, he got me into like building, like jets and model planes and stuff like that. And around that time, I think he started showing me the first. Um, I think we saw. I remember seeing the Wrath of Khan. We started seeing Star Trek. I started seeing the movies, and then when I got to be like in my early teens, when I started watching the original series. So I got to know the characters when I got older. When I got in my teens, I kind of understand a little bit more about what Star Trek was all about.
Hmm.
And then he got, of course, he got me into sci-fi models and building stuff. But when he was in the Air Force, it was the military models first, and then came the sci-fi stuff. And so I got it from my dad. Um, yeah, I got it from him. He kind of inspired me to build stuff and make stuff, and it just took off. I just, you know, and it was stuff that he couldn't buy me back then. I would I would make it myself. I would make stuff out of paper, and
Hmm.
I would
Mhm.
draw stuff and draw little tabs on stuff and fold it and glue it together. And I had my little Millennium Falcon. I was playing with it in the backyard, and I taught
Nice.
my cousin how to do that, and he was doing it too. He would draw the top of the saucer with the mandibles. He would draw a top, draw a bottom, and we used to draw the top, and then we would trace it to make a bottom, and then we just had a long strip, notebook paper, about that thickness with the little lines in between. We would draw the line, draw the tabs, cut everything out, and glue it all together, and then we had drew a little circle and put a tab on it, and that was a little radar dish. And we was playing with that stuff in the backyard, got dirt all on it and stuff. And so you didn't need no weathering. You didn't have to weather nothing. Just go run it through the dirt.
Just rub some dirt on it. It'll be fine.
Yeah. But our imagination filled in the blanks, and we couldn't get
Yeah.
all the toys we
Hmm.
wanted.
Yeah.
So yeah. So I mean, we found a lot of ways to have fun back then. And that was a time where we played in the street. We played kickball, tic-tac-toe, football. We played everything in the streets, and we just had to be in the house by the street light. Street light comes on, you had to be in the house. Like,
Hmm.
Hmm.
but that was a time period where uh, the 80s and 90s were, I say mostly the 80s, where things were fun. I mean, model building, I think, was pretty cool. I mean, you was getting all the AMT Ertl kits. My dad was coming back because every time he got something, I wanted it too. So we both would probably have the Enterprise and the Battle Cruiser, and he would tell me, he was like, if you start breaking these models now, you can't be playing with them with your friends, because I'm not buying them again. Like, you only get like,
So you
if
get
I
one
get a
and that's
sip,
it.
you get a sip. Yeah, that's it. Because but I was a kid that back then my friends would come over to the house and had a box with Ninja Turtles, the wrestling, the big rubber wrestling figures like Ric Flair and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Had all these toys in a box, and we'll put it on the front porch, and all the kids would come over and we'll be playing right there on the front porch. And my dad was like, just make sure they put all the toys in the box, because it was a big deal. Like, we'd be playing all around the house, and it's like, you start losing these toys, I'm not buying them more toys. Like, this is all you get, man. But yeah, I was the one that just I just like to see everybody play. Everybody just sit around and we just playing with the toys and stuff. And it was kind of like having like a little bar, a little club, and everybody's having a good time. And it's like, yeah, like everybody's having a good time with my toys. And
That's
yeah, but
nice.
yeah,
You
that was fun times though. A lot of good memories, and that was at Daytona Beach, Florida. Is a hometown.
you you were talking about like the vet and the you know um and like the sci-fi cars and
Yeah,
and I keep looking around on Facebook Marketplace because sometimes
yeah,
they have like project cars. So there was this guy um had 1977 Corvette Stingray, and he was only selling it for $1,500. And I was like, "Why are you selling this for just 1,500? This thing should be like $45,000 or 50,000."
What's
He's
wrong
like,
with it?
"Well, I just want to get rid of it and all this other stuff." I said, if I had the money, you know what I would do with that car? I'd turn that into the Frankenstein alligator,
oh,
like from Death Race 2000. I'd put the big tail thing on it and everything, and do all the
Yeah.
airbrushing of the car. That's what I would do. And he goes, but he goes, that sounds like a really great. I was like, then you could sell it for like $45,000 to $50,000.
yeah,
Yeah.
That would be fun. That would be like a fun project to do. But yeah, there's like a lot. Like I see a lot of cars. Like like in my neighborhood, I see people have like Porsche 924s. They're just rotting in a barn. They're just sitting there in the barn,
yeah,
rusting, dirt, mold, all this. And I'm like, why? Like, I guess you figured you were gonna do it, and now you're older, and now you don't want it anymore, or you just can't get rid of it. And there's like,
Mhm.
there's like these barn finds.
yeah. When I was in Fort Lauderdale, I used to work at a Publix down there where during my lunch break I would go visit this lady's bookshop. So it was only about a couple of minutes away, and during my lunch break, she had a 1967 Ford Mustang. It was a
Ooh,
fastback,
nice.
and this is like 2001. So, the movie Gone
Mhm.
in 60 Seconds had came out in 2000, and I saw it for the first time in 2001. When I was going to the Art Institute of Fort Lauderdale, I was at the dorm, and a friend of mine showed me that movie, and he got it on his monitor and stuff, and he had a whole bunch. It was probably like five of us in the room, and we watched that, and it just changed my whole outlook on cars. Like, I was getting muscle car magazines, hot rod magazines. I was going through I was trying to read up on Shelby Mustangs, differences between a Shelby and a regular Ford Mustang, and because
Mhm.
I didn't get it at the time, and I was trying to like figure it out, and then before you know it, my whole like I went from the fantasy stuff like Knight Rider, Airwolf, that kind of stuff. I started getting into like real stuff, like all the muscle cars, hot rods, and stuff like that, and I was going to this lady's shop, her little bookshop, and she had that car sitting out there, and I was just like, oh man, it just made my day. And I would be six deep circling around that Mustang, and she knew who I was because she'll see me with the apron on, and it's like, oh,
Mhm.
hey Ray, yeah,
Mhm.
When are you
Still
gonna
standing
sell
above.
Eleanor to me?
Is that right?
Yeah.
Can I get Eleanor?
But it was white and it had the blue stripes on it, and it had a little bit of rust in some of the typical areas like the little quarter panels and stuff like that. But
Mm-hmm.
she would not sell that car, and I would always talk to her about that car, and she's like, I'm not gonna sell that car. I'm gonna keep it. And I remember I found another one. It wasn't a fastback. It was I think it was a coupe, and I wanted that car, and I was calling and talking to people, and I was saving my money up and stuff like that, and I was gonna get one, and it was just that fantasy had been kicked off in my head where I want to build that, and it's, you know, I could have easily done that in 124 scale. It would have been a lot easier for me, but it's like, no, I
Mm-hmm.
got to have a 1/1 scale, like, but yeah, I remember when that movie came out, it changed everything for like muscle cars and hot rods and stuff, and um, I was like in a whole nother zone. But see, around that time, um, I started to get into more realistic cars. But around that time, there was a lot of movies that was kicking off that were like big heist type movies. Like you had Gone in 60 Seconds, Fast and Furious,
Hmm.
then Ocean's 11, and Mark Wahlberg in The Italian Job, like
Oh yeah,
all that stuff. Yeah,
Italian
all
Job
that.
with the Mini
Oh
Coopers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, all that stuff
yeah.
started kicking off, and it was like these big heist movies, and it did have vehicles in it, but but it was still like it was, um, you were getting into these vehicles and you start reading about them and stuff, and you start getting, because I was reading up on Mini Coopers and I wasn't a fan of that. I'm like, those little things. I'm like, it's like, no,
There's
it's like a
a
little.
there there's a movie from the 1980s with Linda Hamilton and Tommy Lee Jones called The Black Moon,
Like,
and it's about
Mhm.
this futuristic car that they built, but it's stolen by a group um, of car thieves. And the Black Moon was actually called the Trebron Turbo. I saw that at the 1977 auto show back when I was in high school. It was built by a group of MIT students who built this car, and the Trebron Turbo was actually it was like you can only enter the car from the top because the side windows, if you look at it, it's very angular. So the side windows were already made in, so you really couldn't put the windows down. You could only um, you could only get in through the roof. It was a rear engine car, uh, yeah, everything. But it's called the name of the movie is called Black Moon Rising.
Black
But
Moon.
it's a 1980 movie. It has Linda Hamilton in it, like with it from like the Terminator, and
Oh yeah.
Tommy Lee Jones as a thief who has to go and steal the Black Moon. But anyway, the the car at the auto show was really it was very innovative for the time. It actually had air suspension, so it had a computerized air suspension, so it could actually it had sensors that looked at the ground as it was coming up, and it could basically feel the road. So if the road was very rough, the air suspension would push down and actually bring the body up so that the body would not scrape against the ground,
Yeah.
you
Okay.
know. But then at high speed, it would actually lower a little bit to get like that center of gravity going and then keep it within it was very, very innovative at the time. It was, yeah, I was looking at the car. I was like, this is really cool, but I'm like, I would not love to have this car. It would just be so, like usually the cars that you think that are going to be the coolest cars in the world are going to be the most expensive, number one, and
Right.
the most expensive to keep up, with like maintenance and stuff. Like when I was
Right.
talking to a friend of mine, um, who used to do oil changes on Lamborghinis, $350 for an oil change. I was like, $350? Like, what? He goes, no, you don't know where the oil, filter is. Here's where the oil filter is. I'm like, oh. He goes, yeah, you can't get it from underneath. You have to get it from on top, but you have to pull almost the entire engine apart to get to it. And I was like, oh, that's why it costs three. He goes, yeah, that's why it costs $350. I was like, okay.
Gosh.
So yeah.
Wow. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's I kind of want to. I would like to do something like that with cars and have kind of like a DeLorean. You have like DeLorean rental. Like some people would build a Back to the Future replica and they would rent them out. And so people who have like weddings and different events,
Oh yeah.
they would rent that car and use it for, their event or whatever. But I mean, I would have loved to do something like that with a kit car or a DeLorean or something and just rent it out,
Yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I mean, I guess you probably would be putting it at risk,
There's a guy in Indiana who makes the '66 Batmobile, the Barris Batmobile. So he'll make replicas,
hmm
and then you could buy the replica. And I was like, okay, so it's built. I believe it's built on a Lincoln. Is it a Lincoln? Yeah, it's a Lincoln framework, like a Lincoln. 19, I'm gonna say 80 something Lincoln, but the entire car costs about $100,000 to build. It's got all the electronics, it's got all the stuff in it. And I was like, that's something you could rent out, or you can bring to a show, something like that, like an auto show or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
There's a guy
that would be
there.
cool. Yeah.
There's a guy in Ticonderoga, New York. I don't know if you know about the Star Trek set tours in Ticonderoga, New York. They actually it's run by a gentleman called James Cawley.
Oh, yes. I know. Yes.
And it's the original sets of the original series Star Trek, like the USS Enterprise.
Right.
He actually has one of the '66 Batmobiles.
Yes,
So
I've been watching it and following that on Facebook. Yeah.
So
I like the '89 Batmobile. That's my favorite.
Oh, the '89.
Yeah, 1989.
Classic. That's a classic one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw the '89 Batmobile in Boonton, New Jersey. Les Dunham had a shop in Boonton, and in the back, under wraps, was the '89 Batmobile. And I was like, and he was the one who made, he was the one who made it for the movie. And I said, I was like, can I take a look at that? he's like, everybody wants to see this car. Why is everybody in love with this car? I said, I understand the problems with it. He goes, oh my God, we had so many problems with this car. The scene, the scene where you see it going down the road and all the leaves are going when he's going.
Oh, to the back cave.
When you go into the back cave.
Yeah.
The wings in the back are so aerodynamically unstable. They were going like this. They're like going like this in the wind, and the car is going. It had a tendency to basically push the car either left or right depending on your speed. So you had to keep it at a particular speed. So what they did was they kept it at, I think they kept it at 40 miles per hour, because anything above 40, the wings go like this. It shimmies the car back and forth.
Oh, damn.
And it's hard to steer. So what they did was they kept it at a particular speed, but they sped up the filming of it, so it looks like it's going faster than it's really going. And then they had and then they had problems with the mixture. It was a mixture of gasoline and propane to make the turbines spin. And there was a quote unquote fan inside, but the fan was not powered. It just spun. So what they did was they took gasoline and propane, filled it in there, and just basically exploded it, and it just spun on its own as it's going down the road. It was like,
damn,
wow. He goes, everybody loves it until they have to drive it. And I said, look,
That's
it's a
fair.
cool design. It's just a cool design. He
Yeah.
goes, yeah, it's a cool design, but we've had so many problems with it. So many problems. Certain things don't want to work, and machine guns and all this other stuff. And
Yeah.
That's
I think the machine guns were. I think they did a 1/6. I think they did a one. They did a 1/2 scale and a 1/6 scale. The 1/2 scale, I think, model had the machine guns that would pop out. I don't think
Oh,
that was on the actual.
oh,
I
it
don't
wasn't
think
on
that
the
was on
actual
the
car.
actual car. And then
Okay.
um, when Michael Keaton has the thing with the remote where he says stop,
Right, right.
that's done all backwards. They just basically they put it there and then they backed it up and they just did that whole scene in reverse where he puts
Oh,
the thing to it and he goes stop and it stops right there. It stops right in front of him.
oh.
Because if they tried to stop it, on a wet street, yeah, there'd be no Michael Keaton and there'd be no more Batman. So,
Oh.
oh wow. Uh, all
Oh
I have to say
man.
is that it had to be really. It would have to have been really inconvenient for Batman. Like if he actually had, a Batmobile like that, and he could only go like 40 miles an hour before it just started shimmying and just going over everything like that. That you couldn't have any high speed chases
no,
because all this all anybody would have to do to get away would just go to speed limit. That's it.
they had the same. Well, they had the same problem with the Val Kilmer one. The Val Kilmer one has that huge wing in the back.
Oh, the wing.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
big
if you
wing.
see it,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like going back and forth. I'm like, yeah, they had the same. Yeah, had the same problem there. I remember the George Clooney one had smaller wings. I think they
Oh God.
learned, and they said, "Oh, maybe we put smaller wings on it. It might be
Yeah.
better."
Yeah. I guess that's like the downside of like movie props and you know actual things made for like TV, like the fictional vehicles and stuff. I mean, we see the end result where it looks flawless, where it functions
Yeah,
flawless. But it's like when you hear like them talk about how the trouble they went through to get that that look of function,
right.
and it's like you start it's hard to take it in. You like, wait, that didn't work. Like it that's what I saw.
Yeah, I mean, you only saw like a couple seconds in the movie, but when they set up the shot, they're like before they set up the shot, they actually put the thing through its paces, see what it could do. The
Yeah.
the most stable I think the most stable Batmobile was the Tumbler from the
Oh,
Dark Knight.
okay.
That was the
Yeah.
most stable one, and they said that
Um,
thing could do anything. They said
oh yeah, jump and
I'm
you could do
everything.
any
Yeah.
turn you wanted to,
I'm sure it
and
did.
it would
Yeah, cuz
it would keep it would keep going.
yeah, cuz
Wow.
Um,
wasn't that actually based on like an actual military design
yeah,
to
yeah.
actually, be able to kind of do everything it did? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The Super Swamper tires in the back were
Mhm.
just like massive. Then you had like these really nice, tires in the front. They said that the Bat Pod actually was a little hard. It was a little hard to steer, but once they did tests, because they did like a test track test, so they put it onto a test track, and then they did certain things where like they spun out with it, and but the the Bat Pod was kind of like the Tron light cycles. You had
Mhm.
a very large turning radius,
Mm.
so like you couldn't turn it like a motorcycle. You couldn't just turn into the turn. You basically had a kind of you would actually shift your weight, and then try to turn it, you
Mm.
know. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, they said the Bat Pod was pretty stable. And then that was the scene where he goes through the mall and he goes through the glass.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They did the it's called Candy Glass. So Candy Glass is basically it's a resin.
It's like
a
sugar.
resin
It's
glass.
like sugar glass.
Right.
It,
Sugar
it-
glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. But usually what they'll do is they have a solenoid inside the glass. What it does is it basically shatters the glass before you get to it, so you could break through it a lot easier.
Mhm.
You know, so
Oh.
there's like a little solenoid. It's like a little, it looks like a little pick, and it just hits it. It just goes ching, and then you'll see it. Like if you watch The Dark Knight, sometimes you'll see it. It's in RoboCop actually, in the original
Oh,
RoboCop.
really?
When
Okay.
when he's taking Clarence Boddicker and he's throwing him through the glass offices.
Yeah.
You'll see the glass basically shatter before he gets thrown into the glass.
Huh.
And then if you see glass shards are actually done in silicon. They do clear silicon and they make it look like shattered glass. You could put like shards of glass in your skin. It's not real glass. It's not even resin. It's actually silicon. It's like a silicon rubber, but it's
Oh.
it's a
Okay.
thing. But you've been doing the RoboCop thing. So did you ever get to see Peter Weller? And because I know you were gonna go to the
That was canceled though.
Oh, it
So
was?
Yeah, so it's supposed to be February 26th to March. I think March 1st or something like that. In Tampa, Florida. There's a con down there. So
Okay.
I want to try to
Okay.
catch that one. Yes, I want to try to catch that. And I still got some stuff to do on RoboCop. So I got some wire cables to hold up the torso up on the hospital gurney. And I got the length and width already set because it's to keep it to sit pretty, centered.
Mhm.
One
Mhm.
it's kind of weird because one cable would have to be longer than the other one, and I got to deal with weight because it's getting heavier now. The arms got heavy, and then I put the head on. The head is heavier than both arms put together, and so now it's like I have to use real cable wire, to hold
Oh.
it up.
Yeah.
So at first I tried testing out some little thick metal wire that I can just kind of bend it at the top and bend it and have it kind of hook into the top of the torso and hold it up. And I sat there and I took pictures of it and it was like, oh, okay, this might work. And bloop, fell. And it fell down on the gurney and I had to catch it, So and then I cracked a little piece of the inside of the arm. It was a rectangular piece. It was a 3D printed plastic, but I had cut out a little rectangular opening, and I had it screwed inside the arm. So the hook from the torso would just kind of hook into it. But that was a bad idea to use 3D printed plastic. I don't know why I did that, but I was just rushing in a hurry. I just wanted to get the arms on. I wanted to put all the stuff on, take a picture, and I now thinking, I think that's one of those things that you it's almost like a special effect thing. Let me just get these pictures, it'll fall apart later,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what I did. Like I got it together and got all those nice little pictures, and then it fell, and I was like, oh boy, but I got the pictures, I got the pictures.
Hey, that's all that
Yeah,
matters. That's all that matters. As long as you got the pictures, that's all that matters. You
Yeah,
fix it later.
like now it has to be functional. Like if you got to take it to like a Comic-Con or a show, it's like,
Right.
okay, now you got to
Yeah.
really think it through, and like I got to make this, functional and strong enough to hold itself together.
Yeah.
So you can't
Mhm.
have it fall apart in front of a bunch of people,
Yeah, that'd be
Especially
embar-
Peter Weller if
that-
he's there.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
embarrassing.
So
Yeah.
you made my head fall off.
Hey, look at my
I want an
RoboCop thing.
Oreo.
Hey, look at my RoboCop I made. Kung, kung. Well,
there's
the arms
there's
just fell off, but I can fix that.
there's a YouTube channel that I follow. His name is Jeremy Fielding. He's an engineer, but he basically tells you how to use motors and stuff. He takes motors out of old washing machines
Oh,
and he
Okay.
makes things with it. So he's basically an engineer. But there's another creator. I can't think of her name. She's on YouTube. She basically shows you how to take Raspberry Pi and the Arduino Uno and using that type of coding medium to code for 12-volt motors to make things move. And I can't think of her name. Oh, we have 15 minutes left, but let me see here. I have it in my subscriptions. Let's see if I can find it. Let's see. Is it Rachel? Yeah, this is it. Her name is Rachel DeBarros. She is on YouTube. She has her own channel. It basically shows you how to use Arduino projects and stuff like that, and how to stop, reverse, and home stepper motors with limit switches. So yeah, her channel. I love watching her channel because you can basically use the Arduino with a motor controller. So the motor controller, if you're going to use something that is 12 volts and up, you're going to need a motor controller, and then the Arduino would be the brain. So you basically would code the Arduino and say, okay, well, I want the motor to go, go this way a couple steps and then go back a couple steps the other way. You could do certain things like that.
okay.
So you could use, like stepper motors that are like 12 volts, maybe 12 to 24 volts. But if you're going to use something that's like, like if you have a motor that uses 115 volts, you're still going to need a motor controller, but the motor controller is going to have to be for that specific motor. So, but her channel is really cool. I like her channel. She shows you how to do Arduino projects and stuff like that, stuff with Raspberry Pi and things like that. But yeah,
You said
That's
that
pretty
to
cool.
me. I'll check it out.
and it's yeah. I'll send you the link to her page. I'll put it in your messenger feed. So yeah. Oh man, just trying to get my channel together. I finally bought a camera, and I got to figure all that out. And I have to do editing software. I have to get a musical intro and all this other stuff, and it's gonna be it's going to be a science fiction based type of thing where I basically show people how all. I was on Facebook, and this one guy goes, "Well, how do we know that the pictures you're posting to Facebook are really your projects?" And I was like, "Well, I have these on my phone, and I've had these for years. I just posted them." And they go, "Well, how do we know it's yours?" And it got me thinking, like, well, if I create a YouTube channel,
It's
and
kind
I
of showing
basically show
from
people
how
how I
them
did
from
this,
beginning to end. Yeah.
right, from beginning to end, then they'll get it. Because I've gotten a lot of I gotten a lot of flack from the people from like the Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea page. How do we know that you did the sea monster? And I was like, well, there's a picture of me with the sea monster at Jersey Fest, and they're like, well,
how do you know it's actually
you
yours
just
instead of
stood
just
behind it and said that you built it? So
Yeah.
I'm like, so now I have to go back and start from scratch and do it all over again, but I have to do a video of it and
Oh,
basically show
So
people how
yeah,
I did it, you know.
now
So
if for video
yeah.
editing, now if you want two ways to go. If you're going to pay for software, the best one to go with is Adobe.
okay.
Now, if you want to save some money, then go with the one that's called OpenShot Video Editor. It's the closest thing that you'll get to Adobe without
Yeah.
actually paying for it. But
Okay. Open shot. Okay.
OpenShot Video.
Okay. That's
And
gonna be. I mean, I did video editing back. Oh my god, back in like the '90s, like professionally,
and
and it was a pain in the butt then. I'm sure it's gonna be a pain in the butt now, but
it's
it's
yeah, it's still a pain. Yeah, I
yeah. I
mean
mean, it can
it.
get crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's one website that I go to that has a lot of like video intros and stuff like that, for YouTube channels, um, radio shows, podcasts, anything like that. It is videohive.net.
Video Hive done
Yeah, man, I'll send you the link to it. But yeah, videohive.net. That one has a whole list of sites within that network because it's all under one company. It's called Envato. So
that.
Envato
Okay.
has like um a site for like website templates, um back end coding templates,
Mm-hmm.
um like app templates, 3D like 3D objects, you know, graphic design work, whole nine.
Yeah.
And you'll be able to find a whole lot of stuff there. That'll definitely be able to help you out.
My intro is going to be like science fiction based, so I have to build all the models for the intro. I'm going to have to build all the models for the thing. It's going to be kind of like a space station type setup where I'm flying to the space station, but it's going to be all model work in outer space, and then the station is actually going to be
Mm-hmm.
the place where I'm building all the models. So I'm going to travel to the space station through an asteroid field, being attacked by pirates and then trying to get to the station safely, and but then also have something where you have like the space station with a computer that basically runs this, like the space station, and then so it's going to be like kind of like special effects kind of entertainment, but then also building stuff as well and showing people
Mm-hmm.
how to build stuff, you know, and then so
Cool. That's
that
cool.
that is the
Nice.
idea. But how that's going to translate into the real world, that's going to
See.
be that's going to be the challenge. So,
Is that real expensive? Will you think it will be a little?
I mean, I could build all the sets myself. I could build all the props. I could build everything. It's just,
Okay.
it's not beyond me. I've built sets before,
No.
for like smaller things, like plays and stuff like that. That's really how you would get into that. Find theater companies
Oh.
who want props, because that's how Ken Palco got in. Kenny's Custom Props. Okay, Kenny's Custom Props. He does, he's a prop master. He's like property master for, like different, places.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He just worked his last, well, one of his last gigs was just the second season for Fallout, which is on Prime. So he did all the weapons. But
Oh. Cool.
how he
Okay.
started by finding local theater companies in your area who need props. Say, hey, I'm a prop master. I make this. I could do this. I could do artwork. I could do all this other stuff.
Okay.
And find them and say, hey, I don't know, like most people want to get paid, but if you did kind of like a volunteer type thing or like a barter type thing, with them,
Right.
like if you did
Right.
artwork for a particular scene, if there's art hanging on the wall in the play, that could be your
Mhm.
art. That could be
Okay.
like, oh, I really like that painting, or hey, I really like that prop, or something like that. That's how you really get noticed by other artists. YouTube is also good, as well. You should have a YouTube channel where you're doing your art, you know, because I see your plane. I mean, I see those, I see the RC planes that you build. I'm like, why doesn't this guy have a YouTube channel where he's building it? It is, but
Well, these guys, they're sending them to me. So I
yeah,
mean, none
I
of them
mean,
really. They're not mine. They send them out to me. I detail them, and they come get them, or I had to send them back.
but I mean, but you could
But
say,
even
yeah,
like
yeah, but
yeah,
I mean,
just
like
start a
like a
channel
YouTube
even
channel could show.
to show how your process in getting something
Oh,
in, detailing it, and going through the whole nine and making it, look better
oh,
than when you
I see
got it.
that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
go with it, going from a kit to the finished, because like I look at the detail, the wings, I'm like going, this thing looks absolutely real. Like most of the dirt, well, not dirt, but it looks like it's a used aircraft. It
Right.
looks like
The
the
weathering.
airframe has been used many, many times. I'm like, how does he get that detail? I'm like going, that's what people want. That's what people really
Yeah.
want to see on a
Like how
YouTube
they get
channel.
that look, because yeah, you could go on Google and it'll show steps, but it's always something. There's always a step missing.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's and really you can study photographs because you have like hydraulic stains, you have all kind of weathering and things, dirt, and you have fading because you have like the elements,
Mm-hmm.
the rain, the cold, the heat, all the elements kind of weather the paint.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, there's some times where you see those jets like chained down on the deck of a carrier and they're just sitting out there,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and they get rained on sometimes. And I mean, they bring them inside the inner parts of the carrier to do maintenance and stuff. But I mean, but just between that and them sitting and then flying and sitting and flying and
But see, the
the
thing
paint.
is that people want to see your process for doing
Yeah,
that. They want to
yeah.
Yeah.
know
Like how did they
what
get
your
that?
mindset is
Like
to like
what what do you
create
what
these
do you
things.
do
And
in
I'm
order?
always saying to myself, when is he going to show the video when he builds Airwolf? I want to see Airwolf. People want to see Airwolf. They want to see you build it from scratch. Going, I got the model here. Here's part one. Blah blah blah. We got all the parts. Here's everything. Here's this. Here's that. It's all electric. I don't know. It could be electric. There there was a guy in Germany who built an all electric Airwolf, and I think it's a 1/6 scale. I think it's one
That's a
six
big,
scale.
that's a
It's
big,
huge.
huge one.
It's
Yeah,
huge.
yeah.
Like the prop itself, the main prop is about, I think it's 6 feet long, 6 or 7 feet
Oh,
long is the
Oh
main
wow.
prop, and then the secondary prop, the tail prop is, I think it's like it's 24 inches long, 2 feet long, I think it is.
6 feet.
But it's amazing. It's got it has retractable landing gear. It's got the guns that come out. It's got the bottom pod that drops down. I'm like, this is so cool, but the video is all in German, and I'm like, couldn't you just do like an English translation and just show?
Like
But
subtitles or something.
yeah, something. But yeah, but yeah, that's so. It is 2:59. I'm very sorry. We have to end the show. Thank you so much for coming on. We will, we'll have you on again.
Okay.
Hopefully, we will be able to, um, we'll be able to plug your YouTube channel, your new YouTube channel for 2026. That would be nice.
So yeah.
And we'll hopefully get some video of you inside the shop. Do you have a shop or?
I had a shop. I kind of moved around a lot, so
Oh.
I had to get a new shop set up.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just going through changes and stuff. So it's a new
Oh,
year, so I'm gonna have to get a new shop, put together.
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
see, it's your first video right there, setting up your shop.
Setting up my shop, and
There
here's
you
my
go.
process. So,
Yeah.
thank you very much for being on. We will
Thank
have you
you.
on again. Um,
I won't stay up too late. I try not to stay up too late. That's like my big thing now.
2 o'clock in the morning is your cutoff, or is it 3?
It's like between 2 and 3, but I have gone past that. I went to bed at like 4 and 5, like I did this time at 5 o'clock. I just have trouble sleeping. So sometimes I would make myself exercise. I'll do a ton of push-ups and curl, and I do anything just try to calm down and just get tired and relax.
Oh,
And yeah. So I had a little digestive stuff going on, and I picked that up working at a warehouse, and it's like a stress thing. I don't eat well, and it's hard for me to sleep. So it's that kind of thing. So I'll be up building something or working out or doing something to try to calm down. Yeah.
I get it. I understand
Well,
that.
hopefully your health
Understand
issues
that.
will stabilize.
Yes.
So, I got 250. I got 257. So in our last 3 minutes, I just want to thank our sponsors, Tenant Controls, tenantcontrols.com. And also, I would also like to thank everybody who was in our YouTube chat. I don't know if anybody. Oh, 2 people are watching. Oh my God, a whole 2 people. But thank you. I want to
Hey,
thank
look
our
at me.
whole 2
Don't
people
don't
for
don't
watching.
don't get too excited. I'm one of them. No, there's 2 other people in here as well. I mean, there's
Okay.
there's myself and
And me,
Harley
there's
and
1, 2,
another
3,
individual.
There's 5 people watching. There you go. So. I also like to thank AAA Hobbies as well for sponsoring this video. Sorry to see you go, but you will be going. They do have a lot of model kits if you're looking for models. They
Yeah.
do have a web store which will be closing. It is megahobby.com. And just also want to thank our guest today, Ray Vaughn, for coming on and sharing with us some of his thoughts for the future and hopes and dreams and Star Trek and all this other stuff. So thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
All right, this has been Model Citizen. I'm your host, George Dare, and my wonderful host who puts up with all my BS on the show, the angriest of IT nerds, Gilbert Floyd. Printmaster James is off this week. He was fired, but he'll be rehired. I guess maybe next week. So
He'll be rehired next week.
You want that scanner, and I want that 3D printer. He's like, oh well, I really don't need these. Okay, no problem. I'll get it. So all right. So thank you very much, gentlemen. Have a good day and have a wonderful rest of your weekend, everyone. And I have to go shovel snow because I got 4 inches.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Oh yeah. No.
That sounds like fun. So I will
And you. So next up on GCPR is the Porch of No Judgment. Is that what it is? At 5.
Porch of No Judgment is on at 5:30. And I will have a couple guests on as well. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. I can promise you one thing: the stories that we're gonna tell are gonna have you crying, laughing. I can promise you that.
What is the new show you had? What's the new?
The new ones is Porch of No Judgment and NPC Chatter. It was NPC Chatter.
Send me a link to one of yours.
To Rules of Nerdquisition.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Rules of Nerdquisition.
So yeah,
okay.
for a while. I had to take a hiatus on it, and so um, I'm back now with another co-host, and so definitely, yeah, have to get you on, Ray, because
Okay.
because
And y'all
yeah,
just talk
yeah, yeah,
about
yeah,
what y'all just talk about shows, TV series, characters, or whatever.
yeah. Just
Yeah, yeah. Talk about Star Trek and Battlestar
the
Galactica, Stargate, stuff like that. Helios.
Okay.
yeah. I mean, lately I've been talking a lot about well about the MCU and the DCU and James Gunn and the
Oh,
whole
oh,
the whole
wow.
acquisition with Warner Brothers and how that's going to play out.
Oh,
That stuff.
that's a
Yeah.
conversation.
Oh,
So
I did watch Tron Ares. Oh my God.
I have as well. I did as well.
Oh my God.
I did
There
a
wasn't
I
review
was,
enough
on it.
James. There wasn't enough Jameson in the bottle for me to drink after I watched Tron
So,
Ares.
hey, I did a
Why does
review on it.
Jared Leto always have to pull every single franchise he's in down to the fifth level of hell?
oh
That's
So
no.
it's like
Oh man.
it's like I said,
okay.
like I said about
I
this.
mean, the
As
special
far
effects
as
are good. I like the recognizer
Mhm.
that they build, and they sent spoiler alert, the recognizer that goes through the city. That was really cool. But I'm like,
now
really,
I've
Jared
said it
Leto?
like this. Visually, it is impressive.
Yes.
Visually, it is extremely impressive. Special effects, amazing. CGI, you cannot even tell that it's CGI. I mean, it is absolutely amazing.
But story wise, it wasn't.
Story was weak. I would say it's
Mm,
all for at and um as far as the Tron movies and the cartoon series go, it is one of them. It is
mm.
definitely one of them.
Oh,
So there there it is.
dang.
Which I mean, if you're looking for just just action and to kind of get that nostalgia of the light cycles and whatnot, it's great.
That was cool. I thought
It's
that was
great.
pretty cool
Yeah,
Yeah.
when Ares shows up on the 80s Tron grid.
yeah. Now
That I
that
thought was awesome.
now yeah
That was a cool thing.
yeah as far as like action and
Spoilers. Sorry
action
about that.
scenes and fight scenes and and the nostalgia, great, fantastic. Anybody that's what that's your main thing for movies, that you don't care about the story, you love action, perfect. That is a movie for you.
Man.
But if you're somebody that like myself that likes the storyline to match along with how visually impressive it is,
Right.
It
Oh.
that's where it kind of lacks.
it falls kind of short. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man. That sounds like that Terminator Dark Fate I went to the theater to see when it came out.
Oh, yeah.
Man, I was
Yeah.
so mad
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
I was so mad when that came out. And I'm like, so you use Arnold and Linda Hamilton to sell this movie to get those tickets.
Yeah.
She got in excellent shape. She got in really good shape for that. And then I went to see it. I'm like, so you just wanted to kill off John Connor and place him with a female version. So as a female replacing him to lead this resistance in the future. So you
Yeah.
had that was the whole point. You wanted to just we kill him off as a little kid, and
Just
this
so
little girl is gonna grow up to lead this resistance. It's like, why the agendas? Like, just tell a good story. It's like
yeah.
you got us with Arnold and Linda Hamilton, and then we rush out to go see it, and Arnold's in the background, and you got these three women carrying the film, and it's like, okay, I like Linda Hamilton. I was so happy to see her
Mhm.
come back.
Yeah.
And then,
And
but you had the three women, and Arnold was in the background. And
you got that
when I
nostalgia.
watched that, and I heard the line when she, like when Linda Hamilton goes, "She was me," or she, like, like with it, I don't know, she says something like "I was her" or something like that, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, so they're trying to pass the buck." So they pass the buck to this girl who now, because Arnold, went back, or like before, like because the T-800 went back and killed John Connor when he was a kid.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You change the timeline again, and I'm like, okay, I could see where you change the timeline again, but I'm like, shouldn't it still be John? Shouldn't it still be like John Connor? Because
Yeah,
John
Right.
Connor
because I mean,
in
John
all three
Connor.
movies leads the
Yeah,
resistance.
because I mean,
Right.
at
So then,
because the way that this movie seemed is that John Connor, his birth or
Yeah.
his conception and birth and the whole night, that's a fixed point
And I
because
think
right,
that was always a problem when you try to push an agenda in these movies. It's like just give the fans what they want. Just give us what we want. You can
yeah,
still surprise us with certain things, but I
yeah.
think when you completely try to change everything, it's like, why do you have to do that? I don't. It's almost like moving furniture around in the living room it was already set. You don't have to move anything. Like leave it.
So I mean,
Like leave it alone. Like it's like
it's like I
God.
mean, you don't have to go and change everything from the absolute beginning. Just okay, this is what happened, and this is where we're at now, and okay,
Yeah.
taking over now is
so
here
so
from
that means
here.
that the Christian Bale movie is gone. That means that the series that they did with was it the series, I think they
The
did,
Sarah
like they did the
Connor
Terminator
Chronicles.
series.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Now
yeah,
all that should be gone
yeah,
because you
Oh
just
man.
erased that entire
yeah.
timeline.
That whole timeline is
Yeah.
gone. Yeah,
Wow.
because
Yeah,
again, that see the whole precipice of the story seems like it's John Connor is a fixed point because if it wasn't for him, the Skynet would
yeah.
have taken over completely. Blah 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 blah, and then there would have been no
Yeah.
resistance, and then the whole
Yeah.
night.
You
But
just
John
wanted to
Connor being
put a
born,
strong female lead.
yeah,
You
but
wanted to just change it to a female. Okay, that's fine. You want to change to a female, that's fine.
Right.
mm, and then
But
there's even no guarantee that even John Connor wasn't born, that Skynet would have never been developed or
Right.
even thought of.
true.
Yeah.
So everything all goes to points back to John Connor being born.
Oh, but can
Yeah,
I ask y'all a question?
sure.
Like, so what I'm trying to, I know there's a difference, but what's the difference between like Aliens 2, the way they did Sigourney Weaver's character? Because she became a strong woman, a presence in the Alien movies, but
Mm-hmm.
they wasn't trying to push anything. It wasn't like she was smarter than the Marines and she was outwitting the Marines and she was better than the Marines. Like it wasn't done like a Mary Sue type thing. It wasn't like she was better than everybody. She just happened
Hmm.
to be. She just in the first movie, she just happened to survive all that chaos. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
And then when the
They did
second movie, when she got with the Marines and stuff, it was like it wasn't like it was
like
just done right.
like
It
they
was
wrote
done right.
it.
They wasn't trying to push anything. It was just
Yeah,
you
they
know they
wrote
were
it.
just
Well,
trying to
well,
survive.
Well, yeah, they wrote it in a
Alien
way.
was gothic horror.
Yeah,
Alien was touted as gothic horror. It was a horror movie basically,
Right.
and it um it it didn't really well it, she was the female lead where she actually survives
Right.
when when they did Aliens and Burke tells her, well, actually suggests to her that that the company will pick up your contract and you'll become a flight officer, you'll be reinstated as a flight officer, and you'll be there as an advisor. That was basically the company just saying, you know what, we need a host because we want this alien. So if we
mm-hmm.
if because they thought that in Alien that the crew of the Nostromo that somebody was going to get infected, and the bioweapons division was looking to get an alien embryo. It had to be like it had to be part of like an infected human. If you read some of the technical manual of the Nostromo, there's something in there. It doesn't. It kind of is. It kind of suggests that the computers were programmed, like by Weyland Yutani, and Weyland was a little
Oh,
cuckoo. He was,
Okay.
but when you watch Alien Earth, Alien Earth is actually supposed to be the timeline. I think it's before the Nostromo. Well, I think it's within the timeline of the Nostromo. So the Nostromo is already out there, and they had the ship that crash lands, onto Earth with all the alien specimens.
right.
So
Mhm.
Weyland and the Yutani Corporation, before they merge, are at odds trying to get these aliens like for bioweapon research. I'm
Okay.
like, well, wait a minute. And I'm looking at Alien Earth and I'm like, you have 6 islands, and like those are the only nations of Earth that have survived since floods and all this other stuff. Why would you want to eradicate the rest of these people on Earth? Wouldn't you want, Earth, to flourish again? And it just doesn't make any sense. It's like it's kind of. I mean, I do like Alien Earth, but yeah, Sigourney becomes the strong female lead in Aliens because Burke Burke is talking to, I can't think of the guy who's in charge of the Marines. Um,
It's
um,
but Michael Bean plays him, right? But
no,
Michael
well,
Bean,
that's Hicks.
that's it. Okay.
He's Corporal Hicks. But there's
Okay.
a guy, there's a guy who's a captain. He actually
Oh,
goes with Burke to Ripley's apartment on board the space station, and they ask her to get back into, like back, into the fray. I can't think of it. It's like going, and he says, yes, our Marines, have dealt with this before, so they've actually encountered aliens before.
hmm.
There is a book, there's a technical manual for the Marines that they make. I don't have it anymore. Somebody borrowed it from me and never gave it back. But it basically shows you all of the um, it shows you all the equipment and all the weapons of the U.S. colonial Marines, and they've dealt with. They kind of touch on the uh, the aliens that they have encountered or the xenomorphs that they encountered in the field, and they also touch on the predators. So there's the predator universe, which also kind of crisscrosses with the alien universe,
Okay.
and so yeah, with like the xenomorphs. So yeah, they're yeah she didn't really, I don't know, she really changed the timeline, but when they did Alien 3, I was like, oh my God, they did
Yeah.
oh my God, why did they do that? And then they did Alien Resurrection. I was like, oh no, they
Yeah.
didn't do this again. It was like, oh,
So we're not doing that. We're not doing that.
it was just, yeah. So,
But wasn't a rumor they was gonna have her come back in another movie or something? Or
um, yeah, they do. Yeah, was Sigourney Weaver that? Yeah, they want. Actually, they want. I think they want her to do either a movie or they're going to do a cameo for Alien Earth, where they want to see her. I don't know. I know she is the new representative for um for the Mercenary Guild in the Mandalorian and Grogu.
okay.
So, or because Carl
Mhm.
Weathers had passed away,
Right.
and he was Governor Targa of that planet. She's now the head of that.
Right.
Because there's a scene where she's talking to the Mandalorian, and then Grogu's trying to steal the candy off her desk with the Force. So yeah. So
Yeah, so
it is 3:20. I'm very sorry we went overtime, and Gilbert is looking at me like he's going. Okay,
so
we
no, I
can
was
talk
about to
about
say,
more of this on the Rules of Nerdquisition if you want to. So
yeah, we
listen.
go more in depth on it and that. So
Yes.
yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and end this.
Yep, we're
I
gonna end the
have,
show.
I have,
You
I have
have your
a,
little tiny terror.
I have a
and,
I have a four-legged terror that is looking at me. So
Thank you, Ray, very much for coming on. We'll have you on
All
again.
right.
So thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful weekend.